So the original plan was to create a user interface that would give teachers feedback on their classes and how effective their methods are in how well received they are by the students. And so my main idea was to use OpenFace to measure student engagement, which I had seen a GitHub repo for. And so that was going to be the main focus, trying to get that to work. And then also exploring a bit some audio or sentiment analysis. And so the goal of this all was to analyze metrics like class participation, engagement, maybe things like student progress, if eventually it was like sophisticated enough that they could submit their own feedback, anything really that's useful for teachers in gaining an understanding of how well their students are grasping the concepts. So I spent a lot of time playing with OpenFace and probably too much time. That was kind of the bulk of the first couple weeks playing around with that. But then I kind of ran into some problems with for one, testing on Zoom videos when I was looking through like YouTube ones that were up there. A lot of the faces are pretty low resolution, so they're pretty difficult to detect and then even analyze afterwards. Also, the files, most classes are an hour long, give or take. And then a lot of students don't turn their cameras on in the first place. But the main thing that I didn't really anticipate as much was most, I guess, lectures are lecture style. So it's more so just like teachers displaying PowerPoints or drawings. It's not as much like discussion based. Even our class, the smaller class, like most of the time it's someone's presenting screens and then there's maybe like a couple of faces on the side. So I kind of decided to move away from the OpenFace, and it more so morphed into like an organizational tool for teachers to plan lessons. And I also was playing around a bit with some of the audio and sentiment or analysis with some smaller files. So this was the UI that I created. So this would be the homepage. So I kind of envisioned it again, like more so something they'd use, the teachers might use to plan out their lessons. And so something like this would be a map of like the semester, different units or exams that they could plan out. And then here is where I was able to, you can upload a new class to do the processing that I had originally planned to do, but that takes quite a while. So, but this would be the data visualization for each class that they would upload. So I had originally envisioned this kind of being like the main hub of the analytics, analyzing things like participation, detecting where there's distractions. And then what I had hoped was to also have maybe the engagement here. And then also just like little tool tips to recognize where certain things were detected in the sentiment analysis. But and then down here, this was some like the student to teacher talk ratio, and then the talking ratio among students. So who's speaking a lot, who's not. And then this would be just a transcript here. So this was kind of like the bare bones of what I was going for. And then so a lot of it was I would do like processing the data. So it's not actually connected to the site yet, but I would run that and then just like manually upload the data myself. So I managed to do some of the like separating speakers and analyzing the talk time. But I think part of the problem I ran into was I had a lot of ideas and I should have focused more so on like one or two things to get more fully functioning instead of pursuing a lot of different things. But the main thing that I think was a bummer was not getting the transcript synced up because I had the data for that. It's just with the speakers and the start times of the words and everything, but just getting that integrated into the UI, I wasn't able to do in the time that we had. But I would also want to kind of develop more like organizational and lesson planning tools. So something like where almost like a smart teacher assistant where they would analyze past class data and give suggestions on um, what methods or what topics need to be covered more or what students might be struggling more. And also I had an idea I had was syncing it with a class roster that a teacher could upload so they could track students' individual progress and how they're grasping the topics. And then also do more like natural language processing on the sentiments and maybe like auto-generating outlines of lectures or practice problems. And so in that way it would help the teacher and also the students. Yeah, that's all I have.